Simrill, S-I-M-R-I-L.
S-I-M-R-I-L-L.
S-I-M-R-I-L.
Yes, one L. S-I-M-R-I-L-L, two L's.
One L.
The reason there was a difference in the L's was because the white Simrills did not want anyone to know that they were related to the black Simrills.
This is an uncomfortable situation. I'm the ancestor of somebody who had enslaved people. You're the ancestor of somebody who was enslaved.
Who the hell are you to come to me with that?
That is what I would imagine the average response to some random white guy out of the blue saying, hey, we might be related.
Imagine that.
And I remember feeling shock.
I was curious.
I couldn't change the past, but I could amend the historical record.
You still got things that you're dealing with that happened all those years back.
Were you nervous?
I was nervous.
How come?
Well, I said, is this going to go south?
This is where it gets really bad.
It's the Ku Klux Klan.
What do you think happened?
I think they killed her.
Those are markers for graves. It's crazy to me because this is the guy that enslaved my ancestors.
What I find just completely takes my breath away.
I read that and went,
we're just really here trying to learn all the pieces.
Over the years, we keep finding out something more and more.
Good to see you. How you doing? I'm good.
what is your most vivid memory from that first reunion?
Spencer Sr. dancing.
After that first reunion, it was clear we're all in.
We're sisters. I just love her.
Spencer Sr. is my best friend.
Yeah. I think we are the blueprint.
3, 2, 1. Hey! Good to see you. How you doing? I'm good. Oh, so good.
This is the Simrill family reunion. A family with big hearts and a dark American secret.
Hello, I'm Michael Simrill. I'd like to start this off with the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the truth and the difference. It signifies everything that me and Spencer intended on this being. What we can do, we're gonna do. What we can't do, we'll let the Lord handle.
What Michael and Spencer Simrill have done is unearth the family secrets together, discovering both villains and heroes. In the process, they ended up uniting two sides of an old Southern family that first settled in York County, South Carolina in the 1700s. The white side descended from slaveholders. The black side descended from people enslaved on the Simrill plantation. These are the Simrills, a family in black and white, who don't agree how to spell their last name. Let's start with the easiest thing. It's your name and how you spell your name.
My name is Michael Dwayne Simrill, S-I-M-R-I-L, one L.
My name is Albury Dolores Simrill, S-I-M-R-I-L, Fee, F-E-E. I'm called Rita.
Simrill with one L.
Yes, one L.
I'm Stuart Simrill, S-I-M-R-I-L-L, two L's.
S-I-M-R-I-L.
I'm Spencer Simrill Jr., S-I-M-R-I-L-L.
My name is Ruth Simrill Fisher. Simrill, S-I-M-R-I-L, one L.
The reason you say one L is why?
Because there's a difference between one L and two L's.
What's the difference?
I'm black They're Caucasian. The two L's are Caucasian.
My great-grandfather, he was a football star for the South Carolina Gamecocks. And you find in 1916, it's spelled with one L. And then it's spelled with two. So we think that he did this because his fiancée, his wife, her last name was Curl with two L's, and this sort of aligns more, I guess, symmetrically. That was sort of the family story. But then we also wondered if he did it to distance himself from the black Simrels.
The reason there was a difference in the L's was because the white Simrels did not want anyone to know that they were related to the black Simrels. So they added another L to their name.
Now we call each other the single L's and the double L's.
How do you know Spencer?
He sent a letter out to some family members about 11 years ago.
Did you know him before then?
No, didn't know him from a can of paint.
I probably sent 40 copies to everyone in the Carolinas with a variation of the Simrel name.
One was addressed to Michael.
Hello, fellow Simrels or Simrels. I don't know about you, but I have often wondered about the name Simrel, or its origin, English, French. 30 years ago, my dad told my uncle we're Italian, the Cimarellis, and for 30 years, my uncle believed him.
I remember him opening the letter and he said, Mama.
At the University of Georgia, I put together a course on family history where I would research alongside my students. Inspired by Henry Louis Gates, we would use Ancestry.com as our textbook and trace our family origins as far back as we could.
My family in South Carolina never talked about our legacy of slavery and racial terrorism. It was a crime, forgotten. We did not speculate about a black family across the tracks with the same name spelled differently, Simril.
When I ran Simrel through Google Books, I was horrified. For 2 nights, I could not sleep after discovering the fate of Harriet Simrel. What I find just completely takes my breath away. I find Harriet Simrel, she testified in this government document. The shorter word is the Ku Klux Klan report.
Harriet was born enslaved in the 1840s. Spencer could almost hear her talking to him, and it set him off on a decade-long mission to learn her whole story and share it with both the single L and double L Simrels. This is Harriet Simrel's testimony.
Yes. She was 30 years old in 1871, a mother of 4, when the Ku Klux Klan came to her house, ate all the food, destroyed their possessions.
This is where it gets really bad. She says, after they had got me out of doors, they dragged me into the big road and they ravished me out there. Mm-hmm. Questioner says, how many of them? There was 3, one right after the other. Yes, sir. Threw you down on the ground? And she says, yes, sir. They throwed me down. What a document for you to find.
It shook me to the core.
Not just because of what Harriet Simrel testified, but also because what it meant for him and his family.
It was clear, with a name as unique as mine, that my ancestors had enslaved her.
I remember son Spencer calling me and said, Dad, I have some disturbing news. He said, our family owned enslaved people.
Did you know already?
I did not know, and I remember feeling shock, confusion, shame.
Did you know anything about Harriet Simrel?
No, I didn't know anything about Harriet Simrel.
None of the Simrels did, black or white.
But we believe her story should not be forgotten.
On Sunday, March 23rd at Allison Creek Presbyterian Church, we will honor Harriet Simrel.
My father, the Reverend Spencer Simrel Sr., will preach on racial trauma and racial healing.
Afterwards, we'll tour the Allison Creek Cemetery, which contain graves of white and black Simrel ancestry, and enjoy a meal and fellowship.
Yours sincerely, Spencer Simrel.
Automatically, instinct just kicked in, like, okay, so he had to be part of the slave owner side.
In knowing that, did you want to talk to him when you first?
No, not really. I had to think about it.
Pretty much every day I check the mailbox, hopeful that somebody is going to write me back or call me. Then my dad started calling people, and his aunt, Nancy Simrel Landstreet, started calling people. And I think that that's when the ice really broke.
I was at home into this Netflix movie that would kill you. The landline rang, and I answered it. And this little lady on the other line said, "My name is Nancy Simrel Landstreet, and I'm looking for my people." And I said, "Who would you say your people are?" She said, "It's just the Simrel household." I said, "Yes." She said, "I want to meet you."